They will be going from right to left on offense. All right, ball in the air. It was Bella who got the early jump and with it was able to tip it back into backcourt, and the Cougars will take over and have the first offensive possession. Krista Ledger-Walker on the right side. Kiana Williams has drawn that assignment. Stanford opens up man-to-man. Krista Ledger-Walker swings it to the right side. Ball poked away momentarily by Anna Wilson, but then picked up by Charlize Ledger-Walker. Tries to penetrate, but overcomes help from Brink, so she'll shovel it off to Bella Murakatate, who will have the Cougars on the board. Already, for Washington State's perspective, a better start than Wednesday because it was Lexi Hull going off to give Stanford an early lead Wednesday night. All right, Jones, top of the key, gets a screen from Brink. She'll put one up from the left elbow, and that one good from Haley Jones.
2 points.
So Stanford comes right back to answer, and 45 seconds in, it is a 2-2 tie. Krista Ledger-Walker sends it up top to Charlize Ledger-Walker. Now over to the right wing to Ula Matuga. Up top to Tedder. 3 on the way. That one's going to spin off. And the rebound collected by Cameron Brink. Across the timeline will come Jones. She'll hand off to Wilson. Then up top to Lexi Hull. To the high post to Cameron Brink. Jumping out on her is Bella Murakatate. Now the pass inside. Knocked away by Matuga. Picked up by Krista Ledger-Walker. Bounces it ahead to her sister, but unable to pick it up at full speed as Charlize, and it ends up out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover each side after each team would bank 2 points in their first possession. So 2-2 here with 8.5 left to play in the opening quarter from Pullman. Wilson goes to Brink at the high post. Now back out top to Haley Jones. Haley this time from the right elbow. That one's going to hit the rim a couple of times, and there for the rebound is Johanna Tedder. She'll come up the near sideline for Washington State. Little move to the three-point line. Now we'll kick it out to the top to Ula Matuga. Over to Krista Ledger-Walker. Almost had it lost as it's off the foot of Kiana Williams, but Crystal picks it back up and gets it to Matuga. She'll give it to Charlize. There's still 10 left to shoot. We'll look to try and move in, but from behind, swiping it away is Anna Wilson, and she'll come up the far sideline to Jones. Jones back out to Lexi Hull, who fakes the three and drives in. Now the kick to Wilson for the triple, and that one good from Anna Wilson.
Anna Wilson, 3 points.
So Wilson gives Stanford the lead. It's 5-2, 2.25 minutes into the opening stanza. And Krista Ledger-Walker back at it for the Cougars. Going to drive all the way to the basket, puts it up. That one, a piece of it picked up by Stanford, then Brink out of bounds as she tries to save it in.
In for the
Cardinal.
Cardinal.
Stay with the Cougars.
Prechtel.
Meanwhile, Ashton Prechtel coming off the bench as she will come in for Brink. Not only did these two teams play in less than 48 hours this second game, but Stanford has a third game this week, so it'll be interesting to see if Tara manages minutes at all. Goes inside to Bella. She's going to turn around. Bella's got all 4 of the Cougar points on a nice little move inside the paint. And it's now 5-4 Stanford as they're up by a penny with 7:20 left to play here opening quarter. Hull gets it to Prechtel over at the right elbow. A couple of ball fakes and out top to Lexi Hull. Lexi from just outside the free throw line. She'll connect from 17.
Lexi Hull.
And the Spokane native gives the Stanford Cardinal 2 more. It's now 7-4 Stanford. Krista Ledger-Walker swings it out top. Ula Matuga wide open for a 3, and she will bury it for the Cougars. Ula with a triple, and Washington State has evened this game up. It's now 7 apiece. Second tie of the opening quarter. 3:15 into it. Pass comes off to the near side to Kiana Williams. Now gives it to Haley Jones. Haley working against Ula. Moves in towards the paint. Kicks it out to Prechtel for a 3, and she'll answer. Ashton Prechtel has got some range, and she will nail a 3. And Stanford back in front. It's now 10-7. 3.5 minutes in, and it's a 3 from Tedder on the other end, and that one good. So 3 consecutive threes, 2 from the Cougars, 1 from Stanford, and we're all even at 10 apiece. 6 and change left to play in the opening quarter. Kiana Williams around the corner, starts to drive in, the floater going to be left short. Murakatate holds the ball up high after getting the rebound. The outlet to Krista Ledger-Walker, who comes up the sideline. Takes it out towards the top of the key, then around the right side. Looking to once again deliver it to Ula. This time fakes the 3, drives in, gives it to Bella. Her layup is blocked away, so she gets it back. Now the fall away from 12. He's going to graze the iron. And there for the rebound is Haley Jones of Stanford. She gallops in the front court all the way to the paint. There to block it is Ula Matuga. Picking it up and putting it in, though, will be Haley Jones. And that will give the Cardinal 2 more. It's now 12-10 Stanford in a game that's going end to end. Tedder at the left wing for the Cougars now. A little poke by Lexi Hull, but Tedder keeps it alive. She'll give it to Charlize Ledger-Walker to Bella. Now Crystal Ledger-Walker with it. Has it at the head of the key, wants her sister to come over, fakes the pass, goes into the lane, kicks out to Matuga, fakes the corner three, all the way to the basket, but she blew the layup. Everything but the finish for Ula Matuga, and the rebound down to Stanford this time. Wilson back the other way for the Cardinal, backs it back out to the top of the key, gives to Lexi Hull. Now to Wilson at the head, gives it now to the left wing to Prechtel. Bella Murakatate on her as they feed it inside the Hull, and this time a foul from behind. Whistled on Tedder. That was not quite our first stoppage in action, but we haven't had many. It does become the first foul of the game. And with that, we'll step aside with 4:49 to play. Stanford 12, Washington State 10. Washington State. So the 6th-ranked Cardinal up by a couple here. 12-10 with 4:49 left to play opening period. Lexi Hull will trigger it in for Stanford and will bring it to Kiana Williams in the corner. She'll dribble out towards the top, then a nice little quick move to go baseline. And boy, Kiana Williams, she is just so tough to defend because of her speed. But if you lay off her, she's there and hits open shots. She is just one of the premier players in the country. And to my estimation, is even a little underrated, even though people know how fantastic she is. I just don't know if they know how fantastic she is. Ula Matuga from 3, got it! Ula with the second triple. And the Cougars are back within 1 now. It's 14-13. Cougars really thought that when they played the way that they could in the third quarter that they could hang with Stanford if they played like that for 40 minutes. So far they have for 6. Shot off the mark from Kiana Williams. Rebound down to Washington State. Nice pass from Tedder to Nan Curvis. And there's 2 in transition for Washington State. And the Cougars have seesawed in front. It's 15-14. Washington State now with the lead. 3:49 and counting as Lexi Hull drives in the lane and puts it up with the left hand. Lexi Hull kept the ball away from the taller Nan Curvis and just made a pro's pro move. That's some veteran leadership there. And it's now 16-15 Stanford. Tedder at the free throw line kicks out to Charlize Ledger-Walker. Now Nan Curvis has it. We'll give it to Crystal Ledger-Walker. She's going to start to move in. Prechtel comes over to help. Now Crystal Ledger-Walker loses the handle. It's picked up by Hull. She'll bounce it to Kiana Williams, so a turnover for Washington State. Kiana quickly the other way, kicks out to Wilson for a 3. That's off the back of the rim, and there's Nan Curvis with the rebound. Banged into by Hull, but we mentioned nary a whistle in this opening quarter. They're letting them play. Tedder at the left wing, out high on the left with 3 minutes and counting, and the Cardinal up by 1. Tedder with a pass to Nan Curvis at the high post, spins, puts one up from 13. It's off the heel of the rim, and there's a push on Wilson that does not go unnoticed. And she had kind of a push. I don't know if it was necessary on Charlize Ledger-Walker. You know, I mean, when you get so focused in on guarding a player like Charlize, sometimes you just try and maybe do a little too much, and that's what happened with Wilson there. She's going to pick up her first personal. So each team with the foul now. 2:53 left to play in the first, and it's Stanford by 1, 16-15. Inbounds pass to Crystal. Her baseline jumper's off the mark. That one poked out of the hands of Nan Curvis. So Nan Curvis poked it out of the hands of Brink, and they'll rule it Stanford basketball. Now Stanford in their black uniforms here this afternoon. White numerals and the Cardinal trim, taking on the Cougars in their home whites with the crimson numerals and lettering. Hull at the left wing, feeds it to Brink, working against Nan Curvis. Couple of spins, wow. Little pirouette a couple of times from Cameron Brink. Almost made me dizzy watching it. She's got her first 2, and it's 18-15. Tedder out to the top to Charlize Ledger-Walker, and out of the high post to Nan Curvis. She'll give to Motuga. She's already hit a couple of threes, but passes off this time to Crystal Ledger-Walker. Shot clock at 13 as Nan Curvis comes over for the screen. Crystal will use it. Now will fire one up from 16. That's off the mark, no good. Rebound fought for it. And it was Motuga who had it. They say touched out of bounds, last touching Stanford. It was just kind of a scramble for the rebound. Motuga had him. I think she was trying to squeeze off a pass to Nan Curvis, and after all the bodies in there, Melissa Barlow saying that it was the Stanford Cardinal that touched it last. Hannah Jump checks in for the Cardinals. She'll come in for Lexi Hull. Inbounds pass to Nan Curvis. Now Motuga at the three-point line. Gives it to Crystal Ledger-Walker. Charlize comes over for the screen. Crystal takes it down into the corner. 8 left to shoot as the shot clock reset to 20 on the Cougars' possession. Now Tedder with it with 3, with 2. Will have to fire one up from 12, but missed off the side of the rim. And Haley Jones down at the rebound. Stanford by 3, and they got the possession. It's off now to Lacey Hull for 3, but that does a 360 on the rim and spins off. Motuga clears the board, and here come the Cougars back in the front court. A chance to close within 1 or tie it with a 3 with a minute and a half left to play opening quarter. Crystal Ledger-Walker off the screen from Nan Curvis, takes it in, comes to a stop. The ball knocked away from her. Crystal picks it up and finds Charlize. The 3's on the way, but that's an air ball. Meanwhile, Ula Motuga trying to save it in, but they're going to say that she fouled Haley Jones in the process. So Ula saw the ball hanging there on the baseline, went after it, tried to bang it off a Stanford Cardinal, but again, they're going to say that Ula picked up the foul and trying to do that. Meanwhile, a substitution for the Cougars as Cherilyn Molina checks in. She'll come in for Tedder. All right, Jones over on the edge will cross court it to Kiana Williams for a corner 3. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Cherilyn Molina with the rebound, trying to speed ahead of Jump, puts up the shot, wanted to draw some contact, but not enough to draw a whistle, and the Card will come away with it. Lacey Hull now directing traffic out at the top and gives it to Brink. Brink now back out top to Jump. Jump looking at Brink. Instead will settle for a pass along the perimeter to Jones, and now Brink comes over for the screen. Jones going baseline with the head of steam and puts it up and in off the glass for 2. Haley Jones has a half a dozen first quarter points, and it's 20-15. Stanford now with their biggest lead and have scored 6 straight. Meanwhile, the Cougs, now they haven't scored in 3.5 minutes. Ula Motuga has it near corner, up top to Cherilyn Molina with 15 seconds and counting. Shot clock, first quarter clock, only separated by just under 3 seconds. Now Crystal Ledger-Walker will make that Charlize Ledger-Walker drove in, tried to get the pass to Nan Curvis. Now Stanford trying to get the last shot, and it will be a layup from Haley Jones. And the Cougars, who did so well in the early 6.5 minutes of this quarter. And, you know, 1 turnover for the Cardinal, 4 for Washington State. Stanford will open up the second quarter with the ball on a 7-point lead. And again, at the end of the quarter on an 8-0 run to start this second quarter as well. Brink has it, working against Morikatate, passes out to Jump, who fires up a 3, and that's now the 3rd 3 for Stanford. The first for Jump, and she's on the board, and Stanford now with the first 3 points of the second quarter and going back to the last 4 minutes of the first on an 11-0 run. Cherilyn Molina, a little crossover move, scoops it up with the left hand, then it dangles on the rim before falling off. And the rebound comes down, and it was Haley Jones who ended up with the double dribble and might have gotten away with it, but she stopped herself and took an extra step or 2. Now, not saying that Missy Barlow wouldn't have recognized the double dribble anyway, but nonetheless, they will get the turnover whistle, and it's going to be Stanford, but Haley more or less called that one on herself, like the old playground rules where you raise her hand and say that one's fine. Cherilyn Molina over at the left wing, working against Jump, gets it inside to Bella. She's working against Brink. Bella going to take a little step to the right, and that's going to be Bella Morikatate with the basket. Not sure if that was a Euro step, a travel, or what that was, but ends up working for Washington State, and Bella ends up with a little quick step, and almost looked to me like it was a little pitter-patter. Might have been a travel, but didn't see a whole lot of complaint from the Stanford bench. They tend to know what they're doing over there. But anyway, that will stop the big run for Stanford. The Cougars on the board here in the second, but now trailing by 8. Meanwhile, some shifty moves from Kiana Williams, but can't finish inside. Rebound comes down to Charlize Ledger-Walker. And now we'll see if the Cougars can go on a little run of their own. Cherilyn Molina at the left wing. Takes it out to the top. Will fake a pass to Crystal Ledger-Walker as the Cardinal have done a great job in these 2 games so far of just defending the perimeter against the likes of the Ledger-Walker sisters and made life really difficult for them. Cherilyn Molina in the corner, kicks it out to Ula-Matuga. She'll fake the shot, drive in, fakes the pass to Bella this time and puts it up and in with the left hand. Crafty from Ula. She's got 8. And it's now 25-19, and a nice step in front by Bella Murakatate on the defensive end. And now a chance for the Cougars to go on that run. They've got buckets and back-to-back trips, and now Crystal Ledger-Walker with it. Tries to feed it inside. Charlize has it on the weak side. Her shot blocked away, though, by Brink. And now Brink heading the other way for Stanford. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. It's Stanford by a half a dozen here, 25-19. Haley Jones at the three-point arc, sends it up top to Kiana Williams. Now to Brink at the free throw line. Brink looks towards the basket, then passes to Jones. She's got it at the free throw line, gives it to Brink. Her shot blocked away by Motuga, but there to clean it up is Lacey Hull. So Lacey has her first 2, and it's now 27-19 Stanford. Pass inside to Bella, tries to get it out top. It's deflected, but Ula takes it, then tries to force her way in. Really thought there was a foul. Benny Luna saying Stanford defender straight up, and we head the other way. Now Lacey Hull faking the 3, goes into the lane, kicks out Kiana Williams. 3 ball on the ways off the back of the rim. Jump might have been on the back that time to Cherilyn Molina, but she gets an offensive rebound. Now Brink at the free throw line, kicks it out to Jones. Tried to get around Motuga, couldn't, at least on the first attempt. Shot clock down to 8 as she'll penetrate in again. Spins, gets a pass off to Brink, who will put it up and in off the window. So Cameron Brink with 2 more, and now Stanford has pushed the lead back out to 10 after the Cougars scored 4 straight to get it within 6. 4 in a row here for Stanford. And a reach-in foul about 25 feet from the hoop. Foul on Lacey Hull. So that'll be the first of this second quarter on either team. Meanwhile, some substitutions. Lexi Hull back in. And now we've got Grace Sorber and Johanna Tedder back in for Washington State. Of course, you've got a couple of sister combinations squared off against one another. The Ledger-Walker sisters for the Cougs, and then, of course, Lacey and Lexi for the Stanford Cardinal. Cherilyn Molina out at the head of the key, giving it to Tedder. Tedder gets the screen now from Murakatate, kicks out to Sorber, and then out top to Cherilyn Molina. Down to 7 left on the shot clock. Cherilyn trying to create here with 5. Will have a quick move, gives it to Sorber. Her shot in the lane, no good. Bella with the rebound, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as Bella can't get it up off the rim either. So that should be logged down as the 5th turnover for Washington State. Meanwhile, for the Cardinal, they've had 3 so far. And now it's Stanford ball with 6 and change left and a travel, no an offensive foul, and a turnover. They're going to call an offensive foul on Fran Belibi, who is checked in. Belibi will pick up her first. She is in her sophomore season at Centennial, Colorado. Of course, made her way onto the video world virally with the dunk she had. Now Cherilyn Molina's got it, passes off left-hand side to Sorber. Sorber will get the screen from Bella. Sorber to the foul line before kicking out to Cherilyn Molina. Trying to muscle it away from her is going to be Lacey Hull, and she gets it, and then Lexi picks it up, and Lexi will bring it across the timeline, and right back the other way comes Cherilyn Molina with the foul. Meanwhile, she's going to have to go up against Kiana Williams, but a nice lay-in from Cherilyn Molina put the Cougars back on the board. So 29-21 as the Cougars staying in sight right now with 5.5 left to play before intermission. Kiana Williams at the top trying to feed it inside to Jones. Does a nice job to get to it, and then the shot is going to miss. They scramble after the ball. It's loose. There to pick up the loose change. Out near the free throw line, Cherilyn Molina. Cherilyn tries to pass it off to Crystal Ledger-Walker. They do say Kiana Williams got a hand on it before it zipped out of bounds, and it will stay with the Cougars. Alyssa Jerome coming off the bench. She'll check in and will replace Jones. Jerome, the senior out of Toronto, Ontario, and now Anna Wilson comes back in as well. Well, it is not only a national game, but an international game now, women's basketball, and certainly with the power that has become Stanford, Tara Vanderveer can recruit worldwide. Meanwhile, a steal from the Cardinal and Kiana Williams going deep the other way is going to be fouled hard by Bella Murakatate. Stays on the ground because she took a pretty good shot. You know, a little slap of encouragement to Bella to stay on the way and settles in. Williams Got a little over 13 points per game. Good free throw shooter on the year at 88%. And her second free throw is up and good as well. So she's got 4. Doesn't seem to show any ill effects of the foul from Bella, which took us to that timeout. Meanwhile, into the game comes Jenna von Geitenbeek out of Greenwich Village, Colorado. There's a pass to Tedder on the baseline from Charlize Ledger-Walker. Now back out to Charlize. Bella has it at the top of the key. Feeds it inside to Charlize. She's working against the defender. Tried to get a pass to Bill. It's off her hands and out of bounds, and the Cougars will commit their 8th turnover in this one. So 31-21, Stanford by 10 here. Meanwhile, we are going to exchange basketballs, as I think we had a member that touched it down there, so they'll go ahead and make the exchange and get that basketball cleaned up and ready for play. Meanwhile, it will be Stanford ball heading into forecourt, across the timeline. They give it to Hull. Now over to the right wing to Jerome. Now to Beliebe at the head of the key. 15 left on the shot clock. Stanford up by 10 here with 4:20 and counting left to play second quarter. Jerome comes near side to Wilson. Wilson trying to go baseline against Sorber, running into some traffic. It's out of bounds. Last touching the Cougars. No change of possession there, so down to 2 left on the shot clock for Stanford, so we'll have to get something quick off the inbounds pass. Here comes the ball triggered in by Hull. It'll be a shot put up by Beliebe, kind of hung on the rim for a minute, and just a little bit shy as it falls off short. The rebound to Washington State. Cherilyn Molina up top to Crystal Ledger-Walker, make it the Charlize Ledger-Walker. Now it'll be Cherilyn with it at the top of the key. Down the right side of the horn. Circles back to the right. Inside. Will put up a little reverse layup. Won't go. Beliebe has it. She's going to be, I guess, not tied up. They're going to say a foul instead. They're going to call the foul on Charlize Ledger-Walker. So she's going to pick up her first. Meanwhile, some words exchanged from Melissa Barlow and Cammie Etheridge. 2 fouls apiece now here in the second quarter. Now Cammie going to ask Benny what he saw down there. Pass comes near side to Jerome. Back up top to Lexi Hull, who has it between the circles. Starts to drive in, puts up the shot there for the stop is going to be Bella Murakatate defensively, and the rebound down to Tedder. Cougars looking in transition, but good job of getting back by Stanford. Now they'll feed it inside to Bella. She's working against Beliebe, slid around her, and we're going to have a foul whistled on Beliebe. We'll see if they give her the shot or whether they will call it on the ground. Beliebe with a little hip check, I guess, is the call. That'll be her second. And it will be a common foul, so the ball will be brought in on the baseline as that's the third against Stanford in the quarter, so they still have a foul to give. Charlize Ledger-Walker to trigger in. Looking, it'll come into Crystal. Now out top to Motuga and over to Tedder. She'll find Murakatate in. Little sweeping right-handed shot from Bella Murakatate, who now has 8 for Washington State. Meanwhile, the ball is thrown away by Stanford in the backcourt, and a turnover will give it back over to the Cougars. Cherilyn Molina will check in for Bella Murakatate. Fair to say the Cougars go a little shorter here with Lynn listed at 5'6" and Bella at 6'3". It'll be Crystal Ledger-Walker, sends it in to Cherilyn Molina. Takes it out to the top of the key, left open, so she's going to fire away from 17, but that one missed. Just thought about it, I think, a little too long. Wasn't in rhythm. Took that moment to think about it, and sometimes when shooters get out of rhythm, they can have odd-looking shots, and that was certainly one there from Lynn. Under 3 minutes to play here before halftime. It's Stanford by 8, 31-23 on this Friday afternoon. Some matinee basketball for you in the conference. As Prechtel misses from 18. Motuga clears the rebound. Tedder up the sideline, taking it to the wing. A little bit of a high dribble, but collects. Now they try and feed it in a lot of traffic. They're going to say that it's Stanford ball. Ula Motuga looks dumbfounded out there. Was certain that a Cardinal player deflected, and it certainly looked like that from here. But it will be Stanford basketball with 2.5 left, and the Cardinal into forecourt. Cardinal now haven't scored in 2.5 minutes. Cougars haven't done a whole lot themselves over the last couple of minutes. And it's an 8-point game, Stanford on top. Cougars have really been a good defensive team all season. There's a shot put up by Jones off the mark. Rebound comes down, stripped away, and it will be picked up by Cherilyn Molina. Across the timeline, Crystal Ledger-Walker. There's a three! And a triple for Crystal Ledger-Walker. Talk about being in rhythm. Crystal fires it up in motion, and the Cougars are within 5 now, 31-26. Now Wilson at the right elbow kicks off. Prechtel going to try and answer, and that one good from Ashton Prechtel. 6'5" sophomore. You think she would do a lot of damage in the paint, but she's showing off with a couple of threes tonight. Had one Wednesday night as well. Meanwhile, Charlize Ledger-Walker flips it to Motuga. Baseline jumper is going to be too strong. And the rebound down to Haley Jones. Haley will bring it across the timeline, being harassed by Cherilyn Molina. Gives it to Kiana Williams. She'll put one up from the right elbow. That's going to be a little bit short. They battle for the rebound. They're going to call the foul on the Cougars. Charlize Ledger-Walker hits the court. She's going to be the one that's nicked with the foul as well, so she's going to pick up her second. Meanwhile, the Cougars now with their third team foul of the quarter, so it'll be Stanford basketball underneath. So the Cardinal have gone just 1 for their last 7. That three-pointer from Prechtel, and now they're going to put up a 3, and that's good from Kiana Williams. So that's the problem when you play Stanford, is you can hold them down for 3 minutes, but you're not going to keep them quiet all game long. And Kiana Williams buries the 3, and the lead's now out to 11 after the Cougars had gotten within 5 back-to-back threes from Stanford. Final minute of the second quarter. We'll see if the Cougs can close the gap, if Stanford expands it, or will we stay right around here in a 10-point game. Right now it's an 11-point margin. Cherilyn Molina gives a pass off to Motuga, then it's deflected back to Cherilyn. Can't get it. Now Ula with an offensive board, and foul going back up with it. Prechtel will pick up the foul call. That'll be her first, and it will send Ula to the foul line. Motuga, 8.5 points per game this season in her junior year out of Logan, Australia. Motuga averaging about 8.5 points per game and just under 7 rebounds per contest. First free throw up, that one's good. Ula is a really good free throw shooter, but has struggled the last few weeks for Washington State. She's better than what she just showed on that free throw attempt, and really better, I think anyway, than her 66% average on the season. Does hit that one, so goes 1 out of 2. So Ula's got 9. The Cougars have 9 from Ula, 8 from Bella Murakatate. The 3 from Crystal Ledger-Walker was her first 3. And again, just like Wednesday night, at least to this point, Charlize Ledger-Walker has not scored in the opening half, and she's headed over to the bench. Hannah Wilson to Prechtel, and she's going to bury another 3 from that right wing spot. So 9 points for Prechtel, and the lead is out to 13 now, 40-27. Stanford had 44 in the first half Wednesday night, then only put up 27 points in the second half. Right now, 40 so far this afternoon in the first 19.5 minutes. And the Cougars playing for the final shot of the first half. There's just over a second more on the half clock than there is on the shot clock. Motuga at the top of the key with 2 left to shoot. Fakes the pass, drives in. They're going to call an offensive foul on Ula. So she'll pick up her second, and the Cardinal will have 2 seconds remaining. You know, if you're the Cougars, you probably pressure here to make sure that they have to pick up the ball in backcourt and then make sure it's a 3/4 heave or so. That's what the Cougars will do. They'll bring some backcourt pressure, and the Cardinal inbound and just settle to go in at halftime. So your halftime score from Pullman, the Cardinal 40, the Cougars 27. Washington State got within 5 on one stage, but how about Ashton Prechtel with 3 triples in that second quarter, helping the Cardinal back out to a double-digit lead. Again, as the teams head to the locker rooms, it's Stanford 40, Washington State 27 at halftime. We'll take a break. You're listening to Cougar Women's Basketball. Your halftime report's next, and it's Cougar Basketball from Learfield, IMG College. Inbound as they have switched ends of the court, and again the Cougars had a good third quarter yesterday against Stanford. If they could have a third quarter like they had yesterday, we'll have a 1 or 2 possession game going into the fourth. We'll see how this third quarter plays out as the Cougars open up with the basketball, and not the way the Cougars want to start. It's a errant pass between the sisters, Ledger Walker sisters, and a turnover for Washington State to open up just 9 seconds into the second half. So Stanford by 13, again ranked 6th in the country. They will bring it across, turnover number 11 for Washington State in this one. Brink's got on the baseline, tries to pass, and Stanford's going to return the favor and turn it right back over to Washington State. Charlize Ledger-Walker feeds it inside, and there's a bump from behind, and a foul will be called on Cameron Brink. So Brink will pick up her first, and the Cougs will inbound with 9:32 left on the clock. The shot clock will stay where it's at with 25 left on it. And the inbounds pass will come out to Ula Motuga. Motuga to Tedder. She's got it now out at the top of the key and starts to drive in. Lost the handle, but then picks it back up in the corner. Here comes Crystal Ledger-Walker to take over and take control of the offense with still 12 left to shoot. She's back near the midcourt stripe. Screen coming from Bella, down to 7 left to shoot. We'll try and feed it into Bella. She's got it. A little bit of a high-arcing pass, but Bella pulls it down and is able to put it up and in. So Bella, the first Coug to double digits. She's got 10. And it's now 40-29 as Lexi Hull puts one up from the free throw line. It's off the mark, no good. And a rebound down to Charlize Ledger-Walker. Pushes ahead to Tedder, who's got it at the three-point arc. Will hand off to Bella. Bella looking to try and get it into Charlize, who's got Anna Wilson draped all over as they've been denying Charlize the basketball over the 2 games. Tedder to Charlize, now working against Wilson. Will go to work as she goes into the paint, stops, pulls up from 12. It's going to be short. And the rebound out of bounds to Stanford. Well, the job Anna Wilson has been doing as a lockdown defender on Charlize Ledger-Walker has been pretty special over these 2 games, considering Charlize averaging better than 20 points against everybody else this season. Meanwhile, it's Jones to Lexi Hull. Hull driving on Motuga, lost her footing, lost the basketball, and it will be Washington State ball. So not the prettiest of opening couple of minutes to get this third quarter underway. Just the 2 points from Laura Katate, and that's the only 2 points we've had so far. Meanwhile, had a couple of turnovers there for Stanford as they came up empty on their last possession. Tedder gets a screen from Bella. Thought about a 3, instead fires it to Crystal Ledger-Walker. Now inside to Bella. Fakes left, goes to right, squeezes between defenders, and there to slam the door shut defensively, Cameron Brink. She had 5 block shots yesterday. Picks up another here as Jones losing her footing, but got the pass off the fingertips of Crystal Ledger-Walker into the hands of Kiana Williams. She'll give to Jones at the high post. Spins and looks towards the hoop, looking at Cutters. Passes it back to Williams. Her 3's on the way, and that one is good. Kiana Williams with 8 points. And the Cardinal with their first 3 of the second half, and it's now 43-29. Crystal Ledger-Walker off a screen, fires it inside to Bell, puts up the shot, foul whistled, and she'll head to the line to shoot a couple. Foul on Lexi Hull. She'll pick up her first, and with 7:22 left to play, it will send them to the free throw line. Cougs continuing to feed it inside to Bella. Brink was there for the stop the last trip up the court, but this time the foul whistled, and Bella to the free throw line. First free throw on the way. That one's a little bit short. Before that, we had only 2 free throws aside. 1 trip to the line for each team. Ula went 1 out of 2. Kiana Williams was 2 for 2. So this is just the 5th and 6th free throws of the day for both teams combined as Bella hits the free throw, and it's back to a now 13-point game at 43-30. Stanford with it on possession. 7 and change left to play here. Third quarter action as Jones drives in, spins, puts one up from 12 and connects. So Haley Jones now with 10, and it's 45-30 Stanford leading as we've just gone on only 7 minutes to play third quarter. There's a shovel from Crystal Ledger-Walker to Bella, who pours in 2 more. So 13 for Bella, and the lead is 13 for Stanford. Pretty quick-moving game. We got things underway about 5 minutes after noon Pacific time. Not even an hour in, and we're down to 6.5 left to play third quarter. Meanwhile, the shot from the right elbow clanks off of Brink. Jones flies in after the rebound. loses it, and then Ula saves it into a teammate, and the Cougars coming back the other way with it. Crystal Ledger-Walker going to fire up a three. It's off the heel of the rim, and there for a weak side rebound, Lexi Ho. Stepping in front of the outlet pass, though, Crystal is able to wrestle it away from Kiana Williams. No numbers will now instead get it into Charlize, working against Kiana Williams, and Brink is over there for help. Now Bella's got it. Her shot's up and good from inside the paint, and Bella Murakatate is heating up here in the third quarter. How about Bella in the third quarter alone? She has put up 7 points for Washington State and now has a total of 15 in the game. 45-34, Stanford by 11. Jones at the right elbow will go to work against Ula Matuga there defensively. That shot's going to be short. Bella comes down with the rebound and will give it off to Crystal Ledger-Walker into forecourt. Fires it inside to Charlize. Again, Williams and Brink down again. That leaves Bella open on the weak side. So the Cougars taking advantage of the double on Charlotte. Glad to have you with us this afternoon on News Talk for the Palouse, AM 1150, KQQQ in Pullman, 102.1 on the FM side, radio-wise here this afternoon. Kiana Williams is going to fake the three, puts up the floater, and puts that one up and in from about 10 feet away. Kiana Williams continues to add to her total. She's now up to a dozen, and it's Stanford by 11. Also, thanks for those of you on Pac-12 Plus tuning in on the video side of things. Three-pointer from Ula off the heel of the rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Stanford. We're a little past the midway point. Next whistle will bring us to our media timeout. The timeout earlier was the one called by Tara Vanderveer after the Cougars had closed to within 9. Now Prechtel's had it. She's on the baseline and a turnover for Stanford. Well, there's the whistle and there's the timeout. So we'll step aside again from Pullman. 4:41 left. Lost to UCLA, but came back with the win over USC, and then, of course, had the win here Wednesday. So now back-to-back wins for the Cardinals. Bell at the high post, gives it to Johanna Tedder. Her three's on the way, connects. Yo had 4 threes on Wednesday night. That's her second today. And the Cougars make it a single-digit game again. It's 47-39. 4 1/4 left to play here in what is quarter number 3. Kiana Williams out at the head of the key, comes near side, tries to pass inside, but Charlize Ledger-Walker knocks it out of bounds, and it will be Stanford basketball. Well, 4:03 left to play here, 11 left on the shot clock, and it's an 8-point contest with Stanford in the lead. Stanford with the win Wednesday, won a half game clear of Arizona in the Pac-12 standings. The Cougars right there in the top half as well. A half game ahead of Arizona State for 5th place in the Pac-12 conference. Here's Williams, top of the key three. That one's going to miss short. Believy outmuscles Bella for the rebound, but cannot get the shot to go. Prechtel with another offensive board. Gets it to the other side of the lane to Believy, and she's going to muscle it up, and that time it rolls in for Fran Believy. So a couple of offensive boards there for the taller Cardinal, and with it, it's now 49-39, a 10-point Cardinal advantage. Bella to Charlize Ledger-Walker out high on the right. Trying to go back door to Bella, but she got clogged up inside, and they're going to call a foul on Ashton Prechtel for doing that clogging. Prechtel will pick up her second personal. It was Bella trying to get inside and just was being held up by a couple of Stanford defenders, and they will whistle the foul on Prechtel. 3:25 left to play in the quarter. Shot clock back to 20 as the inbounds pass to Motuga. Tedder fires it inside to Charlize Ledger-Walker, and her shot's off the side of the rim, no good. So Charlize now 0 for 4. Again, hasn't had a lot of opportunities to even try and score. Hasn't converted yet, as she's still scoreless in this one. 10-point Stanford lead as Prechtel goes inside to Believy, working against, that time, Bella. Takes it strong to the basket and puts it up and in for 2 more. So last 4 for Believy, and the lead now 12 for the Cardinal, 51-39. Charlize Ledger-Walker at the 3-point line with Wilson on her. Hands off to Bella. Now back to Charlize in the corner. She's going to go baseline. Tried to get a pass to Motuga. Right at the corner, Ula was able to pull her hands back, and it sails into the Cougar bench, and it will be Washington State ball in the corner to inbound. Inbounds pass will come out to Tedder. Another 3 ball on the way. That's off the back of the rim, no good. And Believy there for the rebound. So again, the Cougars had got it down to a single-digit game, but a couple of buckets by Beliebe, and they're looking for again, but this time pass outside to Prechtel. Now Beliebe at the high post. She wants to go to work against Bella. She's wanting the ball right now. Puts it up with the left hand. That time missed it. There was a foul call on Jones, who got the arm of Bella Murakatate. They were going to let him play, but when Haley Jones and a rake across the wrist made Bella lose the basketball, the late whistle came out, and the foul whistled on Jones is going to be her first personal. So the Cougars with it, down a dozen with 2.25 minutes left to play here in the third. Crystal Ledger-Walker has it out top and will pass to Ula Matuga. Matuga surveying the Stanford defense, sends it back out to the head of the key to Crystal Ledger-Walker, who starts to drive in. Now we'll kick out to Matuga in the corner. She'll drive in and give it to Tedder. Tedder driving, again the kick. This time Matuga with it with 4 left to shoot. Tedder with it, step back. 3 is going to be short, and it's out of bounds, and it doesn't matter who it's off of because it's a shot clock violation. Shot never hit the rim, and on the air ball, Stanford will take over. Meanwhile, Lexi Hull back into the contest. Also back in will come Cameron Brink, and now Emma Nankervis will check back in for the Cougars as well as the sophomore from Australia checks in for the Cougs. Kiana Williams across the timeline with 1:40 left to play in the third, and a 12-point Cardinal advantage. Brink into the corner to Kiana Williams for a 3. That one spins off. Brink with an offensive rebound, trying to tie her up as Crystal Ledger-Walker, and they will award the jump ball. It'll stay with Stanford, but if we don't have a jump ball between now and the end of the quarter, the Cougars will open up the fourth quarter with it. Lexi Hull to bring it in. Goes to Kiana Williams. Now feeds it inside the Hull, working against Charlize Ledger-Walker. Puts up the shot and somehow got it to go. So Lexi Hull with a half a dozen. Again, she had 17, matched Kiana Williams for game-high honors on Wednesday night. Has a half a dozen today. Lead out to 14 as Crystal Ledger-Walker goes into the paint. Tries to either feed it inside or put up a shot that was short. But in any way, Charlize Ledger-Walker has it, and a foul whistled against Stanford. It's going to go on Haley Jones. The Cougars have not committed a foul in this third quarter. Meanwhile, that is the 5th on Stanford, so that means that Charlize Ledger-Walker, the 5-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week honoree, to the free throw line. First free throw's on the way, and that one's up and good, but it has been a struggle offensively for Charlize. Again, just has not been able to find a whole lot of space out there thanks to the Stanford defense. Second free throw's up and good. She has her first 2 points of the ball game with those 2 free throws. And it's 53-41, Stanford by a dozen with a minute to play here in the third quarter of action. Wilson will give to Lexi Hull. Hull will start the dribble, looking at the high post and delivering it to Jones. Now a couple players cut before Jones picks up the dribble. We'll try and get it to Hull. She's got it, working against Charlize, and a nice cut by Brink, and maybe even a better feed by Lexi Hull. The layup from Cameron Brink is up and in. She's got 6, and the lead back out to 14 again. So again, Stanford, who came into this third quarter up by 13, has increased their lead by 1 so far, 9.5 minutes into the quarter. Shot clock in the third quarter, clock about 9 seconds difference as we're down now to 10 left on the shot clock, 19 left in the quarter. There's the screen from Nankervis. Crystal Ledger-Walker, a floating 3 that's well short. Jones down with the rebound. Stanford looking to see if they can get something easy in transition, and there's Kiana Williams in the flow for 3. Off the mark, no good, but Lexi Hull picks up a garbage rebound and will put in the final 2 points of the quarter. So a little back and forth there. Cougars had made it a single-digit game at one point, but when all is said and done, Stanford adds 3 more to their lead in the third 10 minutes. And after 3 periods of play, it's the 6th-ranked Cardinal. Their lead out to 16. It's 57-41. Right now, Stanford with 57 after 3, and it's 57-41. Tedder into the corner. Back out it comes to Crystal Ledger-Walker at the right wing. Doubled as she starts to penetrate in. A little bit of a bump with Brink. Gets it to Nankervis. Out to Charlize for a 3. It hits off the front of the rim and will fall just a little bit short. The rebound comes down to Stanford. Again, Stanford will take on the Huskies Sunday in Seattle. The Cougars game against California postponed Sunday as Stanford throws it away, and they'll come back over to Washington State. But the Cougars will be back in action a week from today, and it doesn't get any easier for Washington State in this stretch. Back-to-back games against 6th-ranked Stanford, and then, the 5th-ranked Bruins come to town a week from today. Crystal Ledger-Walker feeds it to Nankervis, right back to Ulamatuga, then to Emma for a 13-footer that's short, and then a foul called on Anna Wilson as, again, her hands on the back of Charlize Ledger-Walker. And Anna's going to pick up her second personal. Well, at the new quarter, the fouls reset, so first foul of the quarter on the Cardinal, and it'll be the Cougars' ball to inbound with Crystal Ledger-Walker to trigger it, and there's going to be a grab and a hold on Cameron Brink now. So Cameron Brink, who saw a Cougar player cutting, grabbed a hold of her, and so 2 fouls just like that against the Cardinal, 50 seconds into the quarter. And Curvis to Crystal Ledger-Walker, goes in the paint, gives it back to Charlize, feeds it inside to Emma, and all the way back out top now to Tedder. Tedder's got it at the free throw line, fakes the shot, now drives in, loses the ball, and will pick it back up, down to 5 left to shoot. Crystal Ledger-Walker's got it with 3, and now it's going to be an illegal screen call on Ulamatuga. So Ula's going to pick up her third. That'll be the first now against Washington State. Turnovers now in this one. That will be the 13th against the Cougars, while the Cardinal have had 11 so far. Meanwhile, Bella Murakatate, career high 17 this afternoon, will check in. She had 9 of her 17 in a good run in the third quarter when the Cougars were able to make it a single-digit game. Stanford has pushed it back out now, though, to a 16-point contest. With the ball, Jones will give to Kiana Williams. She's got it out high on the left and gets a screen from Brink. Takes it into the corner, drives baseline, floats it up and puts it up and in. And again, just the variety of ways Kiana Williams can beat you after the screen from Brink that time. And she's got obviously some toughness with her. She brings it on the defensive end. Crystal Ledger-Walker driving in. That was another block from Cameron Brink as she swats away another one. That should match the 5 that she had in Wednesday's game, and indeed it will officially go down as a block shot, so that's her 5th today as well. An inbounds pass to Charlize Ledger-Walker, and it's poked away, but getting back to Williams again, you leave her open, and she's going to bury a 3 on you. If you come up and guard her close, she's got the quickness to get around you and get to the bucket, too. Charlize Ledger-Walker with it out at the head of the key, gives it now to Crystal Ledger-Walker. Her shot from 15 will bank in from the elbow. So Crystal Ledger-Walker with 5. And it's now 59-43. Stanford by 16 here. Lexi Hull over on the edge. Couple of pivots, gives it to Brink. Thought about a 3. She will shoot it from there, not often, but she will for an occasion. And now Kiana Williams steps in and puts up a 15-footer as we were just singing her praises. She shows off a little bit there and is up to 16 in the contest. 61-43, Stanford up with 7.5 left to play her fourth quarter. Crystal Ledger-Walker down to the baseline, a kick out to Charlize, wide open as Anna Wilson's down on the ground. They have a rebound, and now they will stop play as Anna Wilson is grabbing up around her nose and got tied up somewhere away from the ball. I'm sure with Cougar ball on the baseline here, again, 61-43, Stanford with the lead with 7:19 left to play, and the inbounds pass comes into Motuga. Motuga at the top of the key will give it to Crystal Ledger-Walker. She now finds Charlize at the top, but guarded closely there by Lacey Hull. Gives it back to Charlize. Again, players converge on her. It's in the paint, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will head to Stanford since Cougs had it to start the fourth quarter, and that's our first jump ball of quarter number 4. Well, it's going to be an interesting back half of this conference race. Again, Stanford had the back-to-back losses, but with a win Wednesday, they're again at 10-2. Arizona at 9-2. But Arizona on pause this week, and with that, it's unfortunate we're not going to get an Arizona-UCLA matchup this weekend because that'd be 2 of the top 3 teams in the conference scoring off. There's a shot put up by Brink, a little too hard as it spins off the iron, and the rebound comes down to Bella. You mentioned her 17 points. That is also now her 7th rebound, so closing in on a double-double. Meanwhile, Cherilyn Molina feeds it inside to Matuga. Ball knocked away from her as Bella will pick it up on the baseline. Now down to 12 left to shoot as it comes back out to Crystal Ledger-Walker, and she'll give it to Charlize. There's the screen from Bella. Bounces it from the guard Charlize to Bella, and setting up to take the charge will be Lexi Ho. So Bella will pick up her 2nd personal. Of course, the schools in our state were not, I'm sure, particularly pleased with Lexi and Lacey, stars at Central Valley High School in Spokane, going down to Stanford, but obviously hard to argue when Tara Vanderbeer gives you a call. It would certainly put them on any team up here in the Northwest, and it would make them that much more formidable. A nice little screen and roll, and there's Haley Jones to put it up and in. She's got a dozen. Well, lead has been steadily built. It's now out to 20, and another turnover for Washington State. So Stanford again, the 2 miscues in games with the overtime loss to Colorado and the loss to UCLA, but make no mistake about it, this is a team to beat not only in this conference, but when we get to the postseason, they're always a factor, and I'm sure they will be again here in 2021. Out top to Jones, who starts the right-handed dribble, turns the corner, takes it in, shot won't go, but a foul on Ula Matuga, and that's going to be her 4th. For Stanford, we mentioned that they've got a matchup with the Huskies coming up on Sunday. After that, next weekend, they're scheduled to host Colorado and Utah. And also, I believe, I saw within the last week that they may finally be able to get inside Maples Pavilion. Still some restrictions in Santa Clara County, but it looks like they may finally be able to return to the home arena. They have been playing at Kaiser Permanente Arena in Santa Cruz. Haley Jones makes the free throw, and it's up to 13. But you can bet Stanford probably looking to that matchup against Colorado and say it's time for some payback after the overtime loss to the Buffaloes in Boulder. But Colorado's played Stanford tough, not only in the win this year, but played them tough a couple times last year as well. Cherilyn Molina's got it. The lead has been built out now to 22 for the Cardinals. There's a 3 from Grace Sarver that falls off. It's a 6-0 run now for the Cardinals. The Cougs haven't scored in a little over a couple of minutes, and Stanford kind of showing their dominance here in the 4th quarter. They're out to an 8-2 lead and make it 10-2 as Jones is going to drill that one. So another bucket for Stanford, and Stanford now in this quarter. They're 4 for 5, and Cami Etheridge will call timeout. So we'll step aside here with 67-43 as the Cardinals have pushed their lead out to 24, and in this 4th quarter, they've shown off a little bit of what they can do, and that does include, of course, Kiana Williams, and also we've seen Haley Jones, couple players in double digits. Haley Jones now up to 16 points now for the Cardinals. Kiana Williams also with 16. Ashton Prechtel has checked back into the game. She had 3 threes back in the 2nd quarter. She's the 3rd Cardinal double digits. She's got 11. Bella Murakatate on the bench right now, but a career-high 17. She's the leading scorer for the Cougars this afternoon. All right, Washington State with it after the Cami Etheridge timeout. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining if they need them in the final 4:40. Sarver from about 10 is going to have it go off the side of the rim. Ula will sneak in for an offensive rebound and gets fouled by Prechtel going back up. So pretty good board by Ula. She's got 9 points so far in this one. Also a total of 6 rebounds, 3 on the offensive end, and Ula back to the free throw line. So 9 and 6 for Ula. She has a chance here to be the 2nd Cougar to double digits, and she connects on the free throw. 2 out of 3 so far for the foul line for the junior out of Logan, Australia. Studies the rim, snaps this one up there. That's going to hit it twice and fall off, and Prechtel there to clean up the rebound. Trying to tie up Prechtel, a couple of Cougars, and ultimately enough screen around by Cherilyn Molina and Crystal Ledger-Walker to have the officials blow the whistle for the held ball, and the Cougars will take it back. So that'll be the 12th turnover for the Cardinals compared to 16 for Washington State. 4.5, and a ball that goes in the backcourt off the pass, and Crystal Ledger-Walker unable to handle that one. And maybe starting to see a little bit here from the Cougars, who were on the road for 4 straight, and of course had so many games that went down to the wire. An overtime game against Arizona, back-to-back overtime games in Los Angeles, and then just last Sunday had to play 50 minutes against Oregon State, turn around and play Wednesday, Friday here, and maybe just a little bit of fatigue setting in now. They do get a bit of a break since they don't have the game on Sunday. It's been postponed. They won't have to play again for a week. Pass goes out to Lexi Hull, fakes the pass, then fires one up from the corner, and that one's good. Well, the junior from Spokane buries that one, and actually was that Lacey? I'm sorry, that was Lacey Hull, not Lexi Hull. My mistake. Of course, they are twin sisters, so hard to mistake, but they are wearing numbers as well. Meanwhile, Sarver fires up a 3, and that one's no good. But it was Lacey, not Lexi, with the 3. I'm just used to seeing Lexi firing up 3s, although Lacey showing that she's very well capable of doing the same, and with that 3 has a total of 5 points. Well, after the missed shot by the Cougars, the Cardinal will take over, leading 70-44 here in Pullman, and looking like it'll be a 69th consecutive win in the series for Stanford. You know, a chance for the Cardinal to move to 14-2 overall and 11-2 in the conference, 2 ahead of the Wildcats in the win column in the standings. Pass going inside the Prechtel. Ball is loose on the ground. Charlize Ledger-Walker will hop on it. They'll call a jump ball, and it will be a basketball to Stanford. Cougs will send in their freshman Jessica Clark as she'll check into the contest. A chance for the freshman to get some minutes against some other bigs, and with the likes of Prechtel out there, a chance for Jessica to maybe learn some things on the fly here against a quality opponent. Meanwhile, Kiana Williams with the shot clock winding down, unable to get the shot. Meanwhile, Clark was battling in there with the new player in for the Cardinal, and it ends up coming down to Stanford. Then a 3 missed by the Cardinal, and that'll give it back over to Washington State. So 3:01 left to play, and a chance with the game coming up on Sunday, and 3 games in 5 days for Tara Vanderveer to get some of her bench some minutes here. And Kiana Williams, the latest to exit. Now with it is Crystal Ledger-Walker will fire up a 3. It's going to go high off the rim, no good. Prechtel there to rip down the rebound, and then as Charlize Ledger-Walker tries to take it away from her, will be whistled for her 3rd foul. That's the 4th against the Cougars, so now out of fouls to give as the substitutions continue. Michaela Jones checks in now for the Cougs. Meanwhile, back in comes Alyssa Jerome for the Cardinal, and now nothing but bench personnel out there for Stanford here. And again, we mentioned they get the Huskies coming up on Sunday. As a matter of fact, that game's scheduled for 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. Beliebe at the left elbow of the key. Couple of ball fakes. Now we'll give it outside to Van Geitenbeek. She gives it to Jerome. Now they fired inside to Beliebe. Crystal Ledger-Walker tried to take it away from her. Beliebe played keep away and was able to spin. 72-44. Washington State with the lead and 2:14 remaining. Saw some good things out of Bella Murakatate today as she again scored a career-high 17. Now the Cougars with another substitute in as Sheer Levy has checked into the contest. Meanwhile, Cherilyn Molina's got it. Feeds it out top to Grace Sarver. Mentioned that the Cardinal had nothing but bench personnel. Now the Cougars with nothing but bench personnel as well. So the reserves all in there for both teams. Levy drives in, floats a pass to Michaela Jones. Shot clock down to 6. Cherilyn Molina gets the screen from Clark. Down to 3 left to shoot. 2 will put one up, and that one's going to go in off the glass for Cherilyn Molina. So Lynn gets the hoop, and it's now 72-46. Minute 40 left to play here in Pullman. Over at the left wing, it's Jerome. Looking, sends it out to the top of the key to Beliebe. Down to the final minute and a half left to go in this one. Now Jump will take over out high on the right and gives it back to Jerome. Tries to pass the Jump. Might have caught a piece of Jones on the way by, but Jump gets it, puts up the left-handed shot, won't go. Jerome's got it. That one blocked by Jessica Clarkin will bring a 30-second shot clock violation as Jessica Clark able to get that block. And he mentioned a chance for the freshman out of North Vancouver, Canada, to get a chance to get some minutes here against a quality opponent. Minute 10 and counting left to play on this one. Stanford will again get the win. Cougs will have back-to-back losses against the Cardinal. Will have to regroup for UCLA Friday. Steal from the Cardinal, and Beliebe puts up a shot and is fouled going up with it. So she'll head to the line to shoot two. Is the foul against the Cougars. Michaela Jones will pick up the foul call. And Beliebe to the stripe to shoot a couple. Well, Stanford at 52% on the day, while the Cougars 33%, 18 out of 54 compared to 30 out of 58 for the Cardinal. Rebounding, those go to Stanford as well, 35-30, and the Cougars with 18 turnovers compared to 13 for Stanford. Beliebe making both free throws. She's up now to 8 points off the bench for the Cardinal, and as we go underneath a minute to play, the lead is 74-46 Stanford. Cherilyn Molina fakes the left, goes to the other way and draws a foul and will get a bucket. Nice little move on the blow-by. Faked one way. It was actually a fake to the right, then went left from the left side of the key and took it strong to the basket and will get the foul and now heads to the line to try and complete a three-point play. Cherilyn, so many key buckets down the stretch, including a couple of threes in Corvallis last weekend when the Cougars outlasted the Beavers in double overtime. She gets that free throw and has 7 today. It's now 74-49 Stanford as Jump will launch up a three, and that one good for Hannah Jump. So she's got a couple of threes and a half a dozen points, and we're down to the final half a minute here with the Cardinal in control, 77-49. Cherilyn again starts to penetrate in, gives it to Clark, her 15-footer, blocked that time by Beliebe. Meanwhile, a rebound to Cherilyn Molina. Tries to put one up against the trees. Rebound comes down to the Cougars, and the pass to the far side is going to be stolen by Van Gietenbeek, and that's going to do it. And Stanford will walk off the final 7 seconds. So Stanford with the win. They improved to 14-2 on the season. A Pac-12
like a Hellcat.